So this question is a pretty big question, so we're going to take some time to kind of go into a lot of it. The question is, how big are the average boob and penis? So there's a lot to this, like I said. First of all, the average is just an average. It's a statistic. It's a number. It doesn't mean that it's bad or good to not be in the average. It just means that you look at all the people and more people fall in this little bit, but it doesn't mean it's right or wrong or better or worse. All right. So for men, penis size tends to be a big issue for kind of silly reasons, right? It seems to be a judge of our masculinity, right? The bigger the penis, the more of a man you are. The smaller of a penis, the less of a man you are, right? If you want to insult a guy, what's the best insult? Oh, you have a small penis, right? So we use that to kind of demean men and to make them feel lesser. And it's really silly because it doesn't matter. Penis size has absolutely no factor on how well you can pleasure somebody or how much of a man you are. It just means it's a different size. Everybody, we have different height people, different, tall and small, we have different weights. Everybody is different. So it really doesn't matter. Nature doesn't care what size your penis is. So on that note, there are some things to think about when it comes to penis size, right? For you guys, for teenagers, there is no average size, right? You start puberty roughly around 12 all the way up until you finish around 24. So from 12 to 24, you're still growing, right? So how can we give an average when everybody grows at a different rate and a different age, a different time? So there really is no average for teenagers, right? For adults, we have to look at two different factors, when it's flaccid or when it's erect, right? So a flaccid penis usually measures around 9 centimeters or 3.75 inches. All right, that's the average around the world. Now you look at different regions, different cultures, different things, that could all change. And that's flaccid. When you look at averages around erect penises, you're looking more around 13 centimeters to 18 centimeters or 5 to 7 inches, right? So we're not talking astronomically large or astronomically small. We're talking about, an average size is, is that size. You also have to keep in mind there's different looks of penis. Sometimes they angle a little bit different, they bend, they're shaped differently. So that all affects how people perceive it and what what your impression of the penis is. So don't get hung up on that. A lot of this, we worry about it because we see these men in porn, right? We see men in porn and think, oh God, that's how I have to look. Keep in mind, they are porn actors for a reason, right? They get hired because they have a large penis, right? Of course, just like if I am selling, a beauty product and I want someone who's blonde hair, I'm gonna hire someone who's blonde. I'm gonna hire the people that people wanna see. And in porn, you're talking about sex. So you're gonna wanna hire someone who has a larger penis because that's what people enjoy seeing. So don't get stressed out about it. Those people are in there for a reason. They don't represent the most of society. Now let's talk about the girls. Girls and breast size. Really, when you talk about average breast size, most people are referring to bra size, right? Because that's how we measure our breasts, is by our bras. And the important thing to remember here is that most people, most women, I should say, actually don't wear this proper bra size. It's roughly about 60 to 70% of women are wearing the wrong bra size and don't even realize it. So don't get hung up on the bra size. You can get fitted properly from a proper place, or go online, find out how to measure your own bra size yourself, but don't worry about it. Especially, once again, for teenage girls, you're growing at different rates and different times, so it doesn't really matter what your average size is. Don't get hung up that this girl is bigger or smaller than you. It doesn't matter. You can't do averages when you're growing. You are growing up until 24, so don't get hung up on this, all right? There is no real average for you to worry about. Just be comfortable with yourself. So the next question, I'm gonna have to rephrase it because they weren't sure how to use the appropriate terms. And what they did use is slang words, which is fine, but I wanna kind of make it appropriate for this video. So they're asking, can you get any infections or diseases by receiving oral sex? So the answer for both receiving and giving oral sex is yes, you can get infections and diseases. I don't need to list them all. There are many of them you can get through oral sex. Just remember, all sex has risks. No matter what kind of sexual activity it is, there's always going to be risks. Lots of things, bacteria and viruses, can be transferred through the mouth. So don't worry about what it is. Just know if you are sexually active and you didn't use protection during oral sex, you should get tested regularly. The recommendation is about every 6 months or with every new sexual partner. Get tested. Go to the clinic and say, I would like a full range of STI tests. Remember, there's not one universal test. They have to test for the most common ones. So just get tested regularly. This question's actually a pretty common question I get, or a concern that I hear from a lot of young people. It says, can it hurt on your first time having sex as a girl? The answer is it could. It shouldn't, though. Your body is designed for sex, right? The vagina is meant to have something enter it. It's not meant to hurt. If it hurts, something is wrong. Now, the most common reason and why women experience a little bit of pain their first time having sex is because they're nervous, right? What happens when you're nervous about something? You kind of freeze up, your muscles tighten, you get frozen, and you're unsure and you really question things. Well, your vagina is a muscle, right? So that's going to tighten up too, and that's not going to feel nice to have sex. So the more relaxed you are, the less it will hurt. It should not hurt. If there is any little bit of pain, a slight bit, lubrication is the way to go. Absolutely, always recommend lubrication, more so than what's just on the condom. Get extra lube it up. That should feel better. If it still hurts, stop what you're doing. Something's wrong. Think, am I ready to do this? Is this what I want to do? Because I'm really tense. Maybe it's not the best time for you to be doing that. Have a discussion with your partner. Maybe say, hey, can we pause for a little bit? Let me get a little bit more comfortable. Foreplay is a good way to do that, kind of not just going right to intercourse. Maybe kiss a little bit, touch a little bit, be a little bit more intimate before you just go right into it, because you will be nervous and scared, especially your first time. So take it easy, relax, and if it's too uncomfortable, stop. There's nothing wrong. There's no rush. Take your time. Do it when you're ready, and your body will tell you when you're ready. So this question says, how can you catch diseases and infections when having unprotected sex? Great question. So the easiest answer is a lot of these germs that we have around us, or almost all the germs, they're around us all the time, right? You can get them on your skin, you can get them in your mouth. There are germs all around us. So is sex. There are germs. Some germs can be spread to another person sexually. That's what we call a sexually transmitted infection. So without using a condom, these skin-based germs can easily be transferred. That's things like chlamydia, gonorrhea, HPV, which is the virus causes genital warts. Those can be easily transmitted that way. Other diseases like HIV and hepatitis, those are bloodborne diseases. So how that would get into your blood, though, is through unprotected sex. When you have sexual intercourse, little microscopic tears and cuts happen inside the vagina or the mouth or the anus. Those little tiny little tears are entryway into your blood system. So when a fluid such as semen, vaginal secretions, or blood that has a virus in it, if that goes into that other person and those little cuts, it gets in there, and that's how it gets into the blood. So there's a lot of different ways you can get a disease or an illness from these bacteria and viruses. That's why it's always recommended use a condom. Birth control pills, all that stuff doesn't help you from STIs. Condoms are the only way. Rather, if you're not ready, don't have sex. That's the best way to prevent getting it, right? Not having sex, you're not going to get a sexually transmitted infection. So that's probably the better choice. But if you are, just use a condom.